Hi guys, welcome to our ValZenDen. My name is Valerie. Today I'm going to be showing you guys the gorgeous Lacquer Coquette spring collection. I can't believe the spring collection is finally here. I'm going to be showing you guys my swatches, my comparisons, and at the very end I do a ranking from my least to my most favorite polish, which is always difficult for me, so if you guys want to see me struggle, just keep watching. Before I begin this video and I show you guys the polishes and everything that came with the collection, I just want to give you guys a huge thank you to everyone who used my code during the launch day and afterwards as well. I highly appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for supporting my channel. Every time you guys use my code or my link, it helps out my channel so much, so I am forever grateful for you guys. Also, speaking about showing you guys everything else, I do post my first reaction videos on TikTok, Instagram, and now I can actually post them here on YouTube. So if you guys want to go down to my shorts, you guys will see my initial opening the package reaction, and I just find those funny, and for some reason you guys like me doing them, so I love doing it for you guys. So if you guys want to check it out after watching this video, you can go ahead and watch it on my shorts. So the first thing that I have here is the little card that comes in the package, which this time it's actually a little napkin, like a little tea time napkin. It's so freaking pretty. If you guys want to pause to read and see what it says there. And then when you flip it on the other side, it has a totally different thing. It has the names of the polishes and the charms and the tattoos. And also I got some cute little stickers. So the first one I have here is two bunnies in a teacup. Absolutely adorable. This one is Passenger Princess, which if you guys didn't know, this is one of the name of the polishes. And then I got a little lamb here. It says, I'm literally just a girl. Like, yes, I'm literally just a girl. And these are the nail tattoos. They are called Soft and Sweet Nail Art Tattoos. I'm gonna remove them from the packaging so you guys can see better. So an FYI, it does come with two. So if you guys are wondering when you're buying the nail tattoos, and you guys can pause and look at the stickers. And these are the nail charms. I don't know how well you're gonna see them, but they are full of pearly tea time coquette aesthetic. I just see a bunch of bows, hearts, and like I said, pearly things all over the place. You guys can obviously get a better image of them from their website. Something different that I've never seen them do before. And lastly, since this collection didn't have a PR box, they sent them to me in their normal packaging, and I just wanted to show you guys how freaking cute and adorable. Like the cutout is a little bow. I can't. And then if you see on the inside, it's just like a striped pattern. This is the back. And then on the sides, I think they mentioned that they wanted to represent as like a macaroon kind of packaging or something like that. So that is what she looks like. Alright, so now getting into the polishes. The first one I have here is called Whiskers on Kittens. Whiskers on Kittens is described as a translucent polish with a pink violet shimmer, and it says it's best used as a topper. So yeah, I was gonna mention that this is most likely going to be used as a topper. Obviously you can do whatever you like. I had so much fun comparing this because I don't know if you guys noticed, but I am trying to perfect my comparisons as much as possible. So I really wanted you guys to see the difference between all of the shimmery toppers that we have and like how different they actually look. I'm not sure if you guys are seeing the comparisons now, but I basically wanted to show you guys how different they all look against each other. The first one that I wanted to do is Eat My Bubbles, and you guys can obviously tell that Eat My Bubbles is so much more of like a bluey finish, like a bluey shimmery finish. So nothing to do with Whiskers on Kittens. That is a very pinky reddish kind of finish with the shimmers. And then obviously High Fae. To me, High Fae is a very teal shimmery color. Also, I feel like this polish has so much more shimmers than like other toppers. I don't know why. I feel like it's more like the shimmers are more packed together, so it's way more shimmery. Okay, the next one I did is Voulez-Vous. I don't know, I just thought it would be nice to see like a white shimmery kind of polish. I know that this is obviously white, but it does have like a ton of those type of similar shimmers that are very thin. Obviously Voulez-Vous is just like pinks and purples, so they're very different. And the same thing applies to the next one, Mother of Pearl. Mother of Pearl is definitely a lot more translucent than Voulez-Vous, but it does have that same shimmery kind of finish. But I will say that Mother of Pearl is obviously a more pearly finish, so that is like the biggest difference. Okay, so on the next comparison, the first one that I did is I'll Be Seeing You. Every time I hear that name, I just think about the song, the Billie Holiday song, just playing in my head. So I'll Be Seeing You is super different. The biggest difference is those like rose gold kind of flakes on it. I don't think we have anything like I'll Be Seeing You in Lights Lacquer. And then on top of that, you guys can see that the shimmer is just like blue. The one on my thumb is Fuzzy Socks. Fuzzy Socks is an explosion of glitter, so obviously it is nowhere near a topper. I did want to show it to you guys so you guys can see how different shades of glitter that they both have. The other one that I compared it to was Here Comes the Sun, which is, I think, would have been one of the first toppers that we got, but this one is a straight up yellow green topper, so you guys have nothing to worry about. And then the last one, which is probably my favorite topper of all time, is City of Stars. The shimmers or glitters are a lot larger than any of like the High Fae or Whiskers on Kittens. I just feel like they're more sporadically dispersed throughout the nail. And this one is more of like a rainbowy kind of glitter confetti situation, so they are very, very different. Okay, for this bottle comparison, I do have a few that I might have not made the cut, but I feel like I'm pretty comfortable with the decisions that I made with the comparison, but I will show you a couple more in case you guys are interested. Here it is next to Angel Baby. This is next to Clara, or I think it's called Frostbite now. This one is Leave Space for Cake. I'm not sure why I wanted to put it here, but I just thought maybe it could be helpful to someone. This is next to Wings and Things. This is next to La La Land. Here it is next to Sugar Baby. This is next to Spring Court. This is One of Your French Girls. Here it is next to Diamonds Are Forever. Here it is next to Love is Love. And I have no idea why, but I decided to add Birthday Bear to this list. Alright, the next polish I have here is called Passenger Princess. Passenger Princess is described as a bright lilac polish with a creme finish that dries semi-matte. I was gonna say that also for this polish, that it does dry kind of matte, which kind of reminded me of Tightrope because Tightrope dries semi-matte, so it's kind of funny. I absolutely love this polish. It is so beautiful, so precious. It's probably one of my favorite lavender purplies in Lights Lacquer. Let me know if you guys want me to do an updated ranking of like all of the polishes like I used to have. I think I did it once or twice, and I think I might do it again. Let me know what you guys think. So if you guys are seeing the comparisons, obviously the first one that I put here is Tightrope. That one was the one that automatically clicked on my head. I'm like, I have to put it here. The one on my thumb is Tiny is Mighty. Honestly, it's obviously like a light purple, but to me it is more a little bit darker, and it's more of like a warm toned purple with a ton of shimmer, so they are very different. The next one I put is Trust and Pixie Dust. Obviously one of the prettiest lilacs we have in Lights Lacquer, and also like Tiny is Mighty. This one is more of a warm toned purple in my opinion, and obviously it has like a ton of shimmer, so they're very, very different. And on my pinky is Lavender Rain. This one is the opposite. It shifts more to the bluey cool tone kind of purple, and it does have a ton of shimmer, so I don't think they are super alike even though they're in the same like lavender family. Okay, so on the next slide, the first one that I compared it to is Lilac Wine. A lot of you guys wanted me to compare it to Lilac Wine, and I agree. I definitely wanted to put it here too. And you guys can see how so different they are. And I know it might not seem like on my comparison, but Lilac Wine is kind of like a jelly finish. I just like to add like a ton of layers to it, so it kind of gets lost in the comparison, but it is more of a jelly finish if you want to make it lighter. Lilac Wine is so much lighter than Passenger Princess, and I feel like it might be a tiny bit more warm toned as well. The one on my thumb is Jukebox Baby. This one is also very similar to Lilac Wine. This one is obviously a creme finish, and also it is a lot more blue toned, so neither of those are very similar to Passenger Princess. The next one is Lavender Latte, which to my surprise, it is so much more pinky than I thought. I had to put it here just because it's part of the lavender family in Lights Lacquer, so they are nothing alike. And the last one I put here is Nebula. I think out of all of these on this hand, that one has the most similar like undertone to it, but the finishes are different, like the look is different. But yeah, I hope you guys like these comparisons. Okay, for this one, like many others, I wanted to put like 15 polishes, but I'm so glad I do bottle comparisons because I can show you guys all the ones that didn't make it that I wanted to put, or even ones that are ridiculous, that are super different. I can just show you guys anyway, so let's start. The first one I have here is next to Mozart. This is next to Birthday Wishes. Here it is next to Grumpy Bear. Here it is next to Brujita. This is next to Sagittarius. Here it is next to Amethyst. This is next to Dear Diary, which was so close to making it. I love how beautiful and pastel-y they look. This is next to Miss Hepburn. Here it is next to Xenon. And finally, this is next to the One Where. Okay, the next one on the list is Counting Sheep. First of all, how freaking adorable is that name? It is so precious. I love it. Okay, so Counting Sheep is described as a soft ivory sheer polish with a jelly finish. Honestly, when I first saw it, when they released the colors and everything, and I saw it in my first reaction, I didn't think too much of it because that's not like the type of colors that I usually gravitate towards. But once I started swatching it and I did the comparison, it really helped me fall in love more with it. I just think it's such a precious, delicate, soft kind of polish, and I know a lot of you guys are gonna love it. All right, hopefully you guys are seeing the comparisons. The first one that came to my mind that I put right next to it is Head in the Clouds, just because it is a very like translucent kind of polish. Even though in my comparison it doesn't look very like sheer or jelly-ish. I just, like I mentioned, I do like to load up the layers, so yeah, I'm sorry if it doesn't look super translucent, but you can see it compared to like Paper Snow. You guys can tell the difference how much more like creme Paper Snow is. But anyways, but yeah, if you guys have Head in the Clouds, don't even worry about it because Counting Sheep is so much more different. Even if you do layer it up like a ton, I still feel like it'll look sheer, and on top of it, the finish of the white color is completely different. So if you guys like Head in the Clouds, then you'll love Counting Sheep. The one on my thumb is Love is Love. Obviously, Love is Love has a ton of little shimmers in it, and it is a lot less sheer than Counting Sheep. And also, it seems like it's a bit more brighter in the white department, so they're very different. The next one is Paper Snow, the OG white one. Obviously, it is very different. Paper Snow is like a straight up white polish, so you guys have nothing to worry about. And the last one I have here is Mrs. Potts. Obviously, Mrs. Potts is also a very sheer polish, but they are so different colors. Like, it's kind of funny because when I first saw Mrs. Potts, I thought it was like a very light kind of polish, but compared to Counting Sheep, you can see how much darker it is, and it's obviously like a more tan, natural skin tone kind of color, so they're super different too. Alright, on the next slide, the first one that I compared it to is Nudely Weds. And just like I said with the last slide, I did build it up a lot, so it's a lot more opaque than it probably is to some of you guys. I just really like to show the color of the polish, so I'm really sorry about that. This one is a tad bit more similar than I thought, but obviously Nudely Weds is more of like a sandy brown kind of polish, more skin tone similar. The one on my thumb is I Do. This one is a straight up crushed pearl polish, so they are very different from each other. And I Do is also a tad bit more like silvery looking to me, so yeah, super different. The next one I have here is Oat Milk, and that is just like a typical creme polish. I just wanted to show you guys like the OG Your Nails But Better polishes as well. And you guys can tell how much more like yellow tone and darker it is than Counting Sheep. And the last one I have here is Dream Street. Obviously, it's super different. Dream Street is so much more yellow toned than Counting Sheep, and it's not a jelly or anything like that. All right, we're moving on to the bottle comparisons, and I did have a few that I thought should have made it, and also a couple of them that I'm like, maybe they might want to see it compared to each other, so let's get started. This is next to Leonardo. Here it is next to Clara or Frostbite. This is next to Diamonds Are Forever. Here it is next to Angel Baby. Here it is next to Adeline, or I think it's called Clueless now. This is next to Pinky. Here it is next to Flower Girl. This is Voulez-Vous. Here it is next to Mother of Pearl. This is next to One of Your French Girls. This one is next to Message in a Bottle. And lastly, this one is next to Cecilia, which I think the new name is called Iced Latte. The next one in the collection is called Afternoon Tea. Afternoon Tea is described as a white peach polish with a creme finish. Honestly, out of like the whole collection, I feel like this one is the most unique polish to Lights Lacquer. You guys will see the comparisons. I kind of struggled to compare them to different polishes because there's truly nothing like Afternoon Tea, and I was truly shocked. I don't really gravitate towards these type of polishes, but I really like this one. It just gives like a little tint of like a peachy color, and I just think it's so beautiful and it fits really well with this collection. Okay, if you're seeing the comparisons, the first one that I compared it to is Iced Latte. I never would have thought this one would be here just because to me Iced Latte is like a nude brown kind of color. But for some reason, there's just something there. I don't know if you guys see it too. It is just something. There's something similar to it. But obviously, Iced Latte is like a brown polish and this one is like a peachy orangey kind of polish. So I just thought it would be nice to have it here just in case. The one on my thumb is Leonardo. I'm telling you guys, like I had such a struggle while comparing this one because I did not know what to do. Everything looked so different. Some of them look semi-alike. So this one is definitely not the same thing at all. Leonardo is so much more yellow toned. The next thing that I did is Pinky, which I have not touched Pinky in so long. Pinky does have like that very peachy kind of tone to it, but this one is obviously a bit more pink and a little bit darker, so it gives off more of like a true pinky peach color. And the one on my Pinky is Oat Milk, and this one, like, they are different, but there's like, just like iced latte, there's something there that reminds me a little bit of it, but not at all because it's very different. I just think it's like the lightness, pastel-y kind of tint to it, but they are super different. Oat Milk is a lot more yellow toned than just white creme kind of color, so yeah, super different. On the next slide, the first one that I compared it to is Newlyweds. Also, I didn't realize Newlyweds had like a slight peach undertone to it because to me it was just like a light brown polish, but when you guys see it together they are very, very similar, and that blew my mind. The one on my thumb is Dream Street. You guys can tell how much more yellow toned it is. Even though they both are like a very creme light color, they're just very different. I would like to say that Afternoon Tea is like a baby sister, a baby sister of Let Them Eat Cake. Obviously they're both very peachy toned colors, but I just think the difference is the shade. The shade of it is just way too dark. These two no doubt be beautiful together. And the last one on my Pinky is Mrs. Potts, which to my surprise they are a lot more similar than I would have thought. Obviously Mrs. Potts is a sheer jelly polish, but it does have slightly like a peachy undertone, I guess. I didn't even know. But Mrs. Potts is more of a natural skin tone kind of color. Thank you guys so much for the ones who wrote on my suggestion box when I put it on Instagram. You guys should definitely follow me there because I'm always asking you guys stuff and doing nail pulls and like all of that stuff. So yeah, definitely follow me there. All right, so I am pretty comfortable with the comparisons that I chose for this one, but I still did want to give you guys a couple of bottle comparisons. Some are going to be kind of weird, but I don't know. This color, there's just nothing like it in Light Lacquer, so I'm going to show you guys all type of like different polishes. The first one I have here is next to Banana Split. This is next to Love Is Love. This is next to one of your French girls. Here it is next to Yours Truly. This is next to Mila, which I think it's called Cannoli now. Here it is next to Diamonds Are Forever. And like I said, the last two are gonna be kind of weird. This one is next to Friend Bear. And this one is next to Order Up, which feels so silly putting here, but hopefully they help. Alrighty guys, the next one in the collection is called I'm Just a Girl. I'm Just a Girl is described as a light seafoam blue polish with a creme finish. When I saw this polish, I automatically fell in love with it. Even though we do have similar polishes to this one, I always welcome this type of tone of green, blue kind of mix. It's so pretty. And I do love it that it's a creme just because you can do like a one layer thing. There were a lot of you asking me to compare these to the first two polishes that I compared it to. The first one being Wish Bear. In my opinion, I feel like I'm Just a Girl is just a tad bit darker than Wish Bear, but they are very, very similar. I feel like they both have kind of like the same undertones, and I'm Just a Girl might be a tiny bit more blue, but they are very, very similar. And the one on my thumb is Peppermint Patty, which was also very, very similar. I just feel like Peppermint Patty is way more green toned, and obviously it's a little bit lighter, so that's like the biggest difference. The next one is Secret Garden, and to my surprise they're pretty different. Obviously Secret Garden is a lot darker, but it also has like more of a gray tone to it, and it's a little bit more green. The one on my Pinky is Pisces. This one is the most obviously different one from this whole picture. I just feel like it is a lot more blue, a lot more neon, obviously. Okay, on the next slide, the first one that I compared it to is Are Mermaids Not Sweet? When I saw this one, I'm like, oh my gosh, I have to compare it to this one, even though Are You Mermaids Not Sweet, a explosion of glitter, but the undertone is so similar. There's just something there that it's very, very similar. The one on my thumb is Eat My Shorts. Obviously Eat My Shorts is darker and it's just more pigmented color wise. I can see why you guys wanted me to compare it with this one because they're both kind of like the same family. The next one that I compared to really caught me by surprise because I would have never thought of comparing it to this one, and I did compare it to Mediterranean summer. The thing is, Mediterranean summer is not a true blue. It is a very green toned blue. So I feel like that is what really compelled me to like put it in this comparison. And the last one that I did is Pocket World. Obviously this one is a lot more brighter, more saturated than I'm Just a Girl, but it does fall into the teal sea foam blue kind of category, so I just thought it would be helpful to have it here. Okay, so for this one I do have a couple of bottle comparisons as well. Even though I do feel happy with my comparisons, I did want to show you guys a couple of polishes that you guys might be interested in seeing compared next to I'm Just a Girl. So this one is compared next to 52 Chevy. This is next to La Luna. Here it is next to Matcha Tea. This is next to Jefa. Here it is to Old Money. This is next to Scent Noodles. Here is next to Letty, or I think it's called Bearded Woman now. And lastly, I wanted to put it next to Frost and Starlight. Alright, so the very last polish from the collection is called Pinky Promise. Pinky Promise is described as a baby pink sheer polish with a fine shimmery finish. This one is so freaking adorable. It is such a delicate light pinky, and I love it that it does have those tiny little shimmers on it. I feel like it fits the collection so well. And this one is not a opaque polish, so it is pretty light if you guys want to add just 1 or 2 layers and be done with it, or you can layer it up like I do, so it could be like a more opaque pink. So it goes without saying that Lacquer has a ton of pinks in their collection, so this one was extremely difficult for me to narrow it down to only 2 comparisons. So I tried my best, and don't worry, I will show you guys the rest of my bottle comparisons just in case the one that you wanted got left out. So the first one that I compared it to is Candy Girl. Just right off the bat, you can see that they are different. Candy Girl is a lot more warm toned, and obviously it's not a shimmer, but I just thought it would be important to put it here since it's one of the lightest pinks we have. The same kind of applies to Strawberry Boba, which is on my thumb. Strawberry Boba is a tiny bit more cool toned, but it basically describes everything I said with Candy Girl. The next one that I compared it to is Spring Court. I don't know why, I just felt like it had something similar to it, maybe because they're both like light pinkies, but Spring Court has like a kind of like a teal shimmer to it. Obviously that's the biggest difference, but even though they're super different. And the one on my pinky is Strawberry Frosting. Strawberry Frosting is a tad bit darker than Pinky Promise, and obviously it's not a shimmer. If you love your pinks, I feel like you guys would absolutely love Pinky Promise. Okay, on the next slide I did Wings and Things. Wings and Things has a very obvious green shimmer shift to it, and it's also a very sheer polish. So if you do have Wings and Things, you guys have nothing to worry about because they are super different. The one on my thumb is Mean Girl. Mean Girl also has a very obvious like blue shimmery finish to it, so that's what makes it stand out and make it so different from Pinky Promise. The next one is Rose Quartz. This one is very obviously more warm toned, and it does have like that sheerness to it, but the tone just completely makes it different. And the very last one is Fairy Floss. Fairy Floss is a lot darker, and the only thing that's similar is just like the finish, even though the shimmers in Pinky Promise are a lot smaller, so that's like one of the biggest differences. But if you guys like the vibe of Fairy Floss, I feel like you guys would love Pinky Promise too. To my surprise, I don't have like 20 polishes to show you for Pinky Promise, but I do have quite a few to show you, so let's just go ahead and get started. Here it is next to Easy Bake. This is next to Witchling. This is next to Cheer Bear. Here it is next to Birthday Brat. This is next to Delilah, or I think it's called Soulmate now. Here it is next to Go-Go Boots. This is next to It's the Little Things. Here it is next to Frenchie. This is next to Candy Clouds. Here it is next to Love a Lot Bear. This is Flower Girl. And lastly, I wanted to put Adeline just in case you guys were curious. Alright, it's time for the rankings, and it's kind of hard for me to do these. Even with this one that I knew that I would like some more than others, I still found it kind of hard to rank it, so let's just begin. Disclaimer, okay, so my last place typically goes to the polish that I will genuinely touch the least, maybe. So my last place. This was like very hard because it was in between the 6th and the 5th place, like back and forth. My last place is gonna have to go to Whiskers on Kittens, only because it is a topper and it's not like something that I would use like every single day, or just like a normal creme, or just like a normal polish color. I really love the name, and I love it that this is like a different pinky, warm toned, red orangey kind of topper, so I really like that. I think we needed this in the Lacquer universe. course. Okay, so my 5th place, I am surprised how much I liked this polish, so that is why she's in my 5th place. That might be a little bit low for some of you guys because I know this might be like a favorite from the collection, but my 5th place is gonna have to go to Counting Sheep, which I love that name. It is so adorable, and this is truly one of the prettiest like sheer polishes that they have. If you guys are wanting to try out like a sheer polish from them, I honestly highly suggest this one. My 4th place, I'm kind of shocked that this one is in the 4th place because I thought it would be a lot higher, but I just like the other 3 so much better. And the 4th was gonna have to go to Pinky Promise. I also think I put it up here just because we have so many pinks and lights lacquer, but honestly this one is so precious and so pretty, and the name is adorable. I just don't see myself using this a lot. Obviously that's why I love doing my nail pols, because you guys let me explore different polishes that I would normally not use. So obviously this one's gonna go up there in the nail pols when the pink arrives. But yeah, that's my number 4. All right, my number 3. I'm kind of shocked because this one is not something that I would usually wear, but it's just so pretty and so unique that I just have to put it as my number 3. And this one goes to Afternoon Tea. It's just such a pretty, like, I don't know how to describe it. It's so cool. It's like peachy, but it leans yellow, but then when you put it against the yellow, it's peachy orangey. I don't know. It's such a cool polish, and from doing the comparisons, there is like nothing truly like this one, so I appreciate its uniqueness and it makes me want to use it more. All right, my 2nd place. I love this polish so much. My 2nd place is gonna have to go to Passenger Princess. I love that name, and I love this purple. It is so pretty. Might be one of my new favorite light purples and lights lacquer, so I cannot wait to put it on all my fingers and use it. I love it. And if you guys haven't guessed by now, obviously my number 1 favorite is gonna have to go to I'm Just a Girl. Not only the name, because like how cool is that name, but I just love how beautiful this polish is. This is totally giving me like Tiffany's, even though I feel like Tiffany's is a little bit more darker, but it just gives me that same vibe, and I love it. It's so beautiful. Ever since I swatched it, I'm like, I love this polish. It's so beautiful. I know a lot of you guys like it as well, so let me know what your ranking is. Alright guys, that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching, seeing the swatches and the comparisons and the ranking. And once again, thank you so much to the ones that used my code on launch day or are still using it right now. I really appreciate it, and you guys have no idea how much that helps on my channel. So just a huge thank you to you guys. And obviously, thank you to Lights Lacquer for sending me this collection. Let me know if you guys have any other video ideas that you guys want me to do. I am in the process of recording my previous Lights Lacquer collections that I didn't get to do last year, so those are gonna be coming slowly, and I'm just excited for the rest of the year. I can't wait to see like the summer and the fall collection. That's gonna be so pretty. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and give this a like. That helps out my channel so much as well. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you on the next one.